I wanted the whole family. I didn't just want Kody. No, I wanted everything. There's situations where a girl will come into a family and just want the guy, and it rips the family apart. I wasn't interested in that. I wanted the family. That's what I was interested in.
He's making the big announcement tonight to the kids that he's courting a woman, and he's kind of nervous how it's all going to turn out.
We haven't, been involved in a courtship for 16 years.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday, April 5th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Yesterday, we did a video with sort of a roundup of Kody giving marriage advice, Kody talking about how you need to have love. You should be in love with your wives. When you get married, you should communicate. They should respect you, all of those things. And then he said he collectively had 88 years of experience in marriage, which is false, but that's Kody. And then we had been talking about this marital strife that's been going on between Robyn and Kody. Well, now there's a new fight going on, apparently, according to The Sun. And I don't care if this is false. I just have to report this because I want it to be true. And if it's true, this to me is what karma would look like for Kody. Because here's the scoop, you guys. Kody Brown apparently wants to move, and he wants to move back to Las Vegas, okay? And apparently this has caused a big fight with Robyn because Robyn doesn't want to move. Robyn apparently does not want to leave her older kids in Flagstaff who are in college. And Robyn doesn't want to move back to Las Vegas. So Kody's been taking all of these trips to Vegas recently. He was there with his brothers. He was there with Robyn. He's been going back and forth there. They were seen there as a family. It's probably been 3 trips in the last 2 months that he's been back in Vegas. And a lot of people were thinking, based on how Kody operates, that he is trying to find a new place to live. And obviously Coyote Pass isn't happening. They don't owe that much money on it, actually. They have 2 loans on the property, but the due date of those loans is in June. And given that there's all these lots and he only has 1 wife, the probability that Kody's going to build there is slim to none. So my guess is that he's going to want to sell the property and move. And they're also in a really large home that's in Flagstaff. Well, it's not super big, but it's expensive, and the taxes are expensive, and the mortgage is expensive. And it sounds like Kody wants to downsize the price of their lives. And this coincides with him losing access to the income of the other wives, which were probably flouting and paying for his mortgage. When you only have your income and your wife's income, who your wife never really worked to begin with, things get more expensive and you have to figure out what you're going to do. And in Kody's eyes, he wants to move. So let's dive into today's topic of Kody Brown and Robyn are fighting about moving. Robyn doesn't want to move and Kody does. Before we dive in, can you please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've not yet subscribed. Turn on the notifications by clicking on the bell below. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say and share this video with your friends. The new article is from The Sun. And listen, like I said, this is The Sun. Take it with a grain of salt. But to me, with the way that this is going with their relationship, I fully believe that there's trouble in paradise. I fully believe that Kody is making her life hell. I fully believe that he cannot afford his mortgage. I fully believe he cannot afford the amount of money for all of the different kids in school. I feel like Flagstaff was a really bad choice for him. And obviously everyone has suspected that they chose Flagstaff because of Dayton going to college. Although, Robyn will say that he wasn't accepted there and he had to accept there after the fact. Kody fell in love with Flagstaff because of the mountains and how pretty it is, but it's also a resort town and it's expensive. Now, yes, it's a resort town, but it also has people that live there. But because of that, it's expensive. So according to The Sun, it says Kody is ready to ditch his Arizona property and relocate to a new state, but his wife Robyn doesn't want to go. So the Sister Wives patriarch is ready to ditch Arizona that he shares with Robyn, and he wants to relocate to a new state. After failing to break ground on Coyote Pass and stalling construction on 5 homes, he vowed he would build that he would build for his sister wife's family. He wants to move back to Las Vegas. When Kody and Robyn decided to leave Las Vegas, it was not long after that. Remember, there was that huge tragedy that happened at a country concert, and they were talking about, just sort of how the city had changed. And then there was also, the influences that their kids were getting at school. So they were really concerned about those things. I think he wanted to get away from the 5-year balloon loans, but that's just my opinion. He, I guess, wants to go back to Vegas because, I don't know, I think Kody likes to gamble. Part of me thinks that he likes to gamble, and maybe that was why Robyn wanted him out of the Sin City. But remember how, the store, they had all of their they had their jewelry in the casinos, and that was even a big problem for some of the wives. Maybe he's a gambler and that's why they wanted to leave. Maybe the debauchery of Vegas was too much for her. Maybe he wants debauchery in his life. I don't know. But it says, this is what the source says. To be honest, Kody is really looking to relocate back to Vegas. The source went on to say that his dream of building on Coyote Pass is kind of pointless now because 3 of his 4 wives have left him. He believed that Coyote Pass was only possible if everyone was included in it, but now it's kind of pointless to stay in a situation that doesn't make sense anymore. Well, obviously he can't afford to build multiple homes now. Only has access to his income and Robyn's income. And now that the show is going into the 18th season, all the wives are going to be paid separately, and they're not going to be paid through their joint company anymore. They've all set up separate companies of their own to get paid through LLCs. And with that said, Kody will no longer have the ability to take all that cash that they were getting as a family and use it for his own wild dreams. The source says that the whole point of moving to Arizona was to build a giant home for the family, which we all know got killed in several seasons ago when Christine said that she didn't want to live in one house. Not to mention the idea that Kody would have even had the money to build the size home that he was talking about building is ridiculous. That house that they were looking to build was, I don't even know, 16,000 square feet or something like that. It was ginormous. And looking at the property values or 10,000 square feet or 11,000 square feet, it was a lot. When you look at the cost to build in Flagstaff, and if it even would have been 4 years ago, it would have been ridiculously expensive. I don't know how he would have ever afforded that. And then you add on the taxes of a property like that, it would have been a massive compound, but at the same time, it would have been really expensive to keep up. But now, because that got ditched and now that his wives have left, this idea of doing anything on Coyote Pass just isn't appealing to him, which we all knew would happen. But then he's also apparently not happy with the housing and the house that they have in Flagstaff and how expensive it is. Mind you, they literally just purchased this house in 2019. In August of 2019, so they've only been there for 3 years. They already refinanced it in the December of 2021. I think it's mortgaged to about, I don't even know, $700,000. And the home is valued at a good value, so they could literally sell the house and make a good return. There's been such a high increase in the property value that it would, if he wanted to get out and make money, he could do it by selling the house because he has 50% equity into the home at this point. If it's based off of what, he's got $600,000 of equity if it goes for market value of what other homes are selling for in the area. So apparently it says the house is very expensive that they have, and it's just a lot to take on, and it will be way more affordable to kind of start back over in Las Vegas. So that's kind of what the plan is, his plan is, but I don't think Robyn wants to do that. She doesn't want to leave her older children. So Dayton and Aurora are both going to school at Northern Arizona University. Dayton's actually graduating this spring. I don't know. I think Aurora's probably in her sophomore year. I don't know where Brianna is going to school, if she's in community college. I don't really know. She just graduated last year. But because of this discrepancy, Robyn doesn't want to leave her kids. And even though they could relocate to a different school if they wanted to, but also they're adults now. And I don't think from Vegas to Flagstaff is only 3 or 4 hours. So it's not that far away. And Robyn just doesn't want to have her kids have any freedom. I mean, Dayton still lives at home and he is 23 years old and Aurora is 20 and Brianna's 18. I can see them living at home because it's easier. It's like less expensive than paying for them to live at school. But at the same time, at some time you have to let the kids sort of move on with their lives and like let them go, like let them leave the nest. Robyn's big on her nests, but she doesn't want to let her kids leave. And then she has obviously her 11-year-old and 7-year-old. He's been going back to Vegas a lot recently. Like obviously he was spotted there with his brothers and then he was spotted there with Robyn, but the source said that he has been taking frequent trips to Vegas. So it says he's going there a lot. Sometimes it's for a weekend getaway, sometimes it's for a business trip. He always has something up his sleeves. He can possibly be house hunting or opening a new business there, or he can be searching for a potential new wife to maintain his polygamous lifestyle. I don't know how easy it would be to find a polygamous wife in Vegas, but it's possible. Right now, it seems like Robyn wants to not leave and Kody wants to leave. And, when Robyn and Kody moved to Flagstaff, Robyn made this declaration that she wanted to stay in Flagstaff forever and she didn't want to leave. Like she wanted to plant her roots and bury herself there. She didn't want to have to do anything beyond like living in Flagstaff. So I could see her not wanting to leave in that respect. But honestly, they have literally no family in Flagstaff other than like the kids that have all moved and have stayed there, like some of Janelle's kids and Janelle. But I think Janelle will likely move once Savannah has graduated from high school. And now Robyn's whole family is in St. George or in like central Utah. So to me, it would make more sense for them to live in Vegas because they would actually be closer to family than they are in Flagstaff. I think she got the house that she wanted. Well, she says she doesn't like this house, but I think she got the lifestyle that she wanted. She got the big house. She got the house in the mountains. It's filled with crap. I'm filled to the brim. And you know what I think is funny here is that they say that the house is a lot to manage. The house is 4,500 square feet. It's large, but it's not enormous. It's a little bit bigger than the house that I live in. And yes, it would be a lot of work maybe to maintain I guess with the snow and all of the things of the weather, if you go to Vegas, you don't have to deal with the snow. You don't have to deal with like snow removal. You don't have to deal with any of those issues. You don't have to deal with the weather component of it. But from a size component, it's not that large that it would be hard to handle. And they have a lot of people living in the house. I mean, they have the two of them plus their 2 kids that they have together and then the 3 adults. So there's 8 people living in that home. So it's not like it's that enormous that it's that hard to take on. Maybe Kody just doesn't want to deal with snow removal anymore. I don't know. It is expensive. Property taxes, I was actually shocked, are not as expensive as I thought they would be. I think they're paying around like just under $6,000 a year for property taxes, which isn't bad if you think about it, given the value of their home. I think it's more probable that this move has to come down to money. It has to do with the fact that they have an expensive home there. I don't know that Vegas is all that less expensive, honestly, than Flagstaff. I mean, when they left only a few years ago, the homes that they sold for $600,000. And if they wanted to get back into a home that size, it would be around I'm sure even more now because the housing market has been, the values have been increasing. And if they were to move to Vegas, he would be buying at a peak market time, meaning that the prices are high. So it would be a great time to sell, but it would not be a great time to buy because usually when the prices increase really high, there's usually like a bubble that bursts at some point and then the prices start to come back down. That's just my experience. I worked in mortgages for a really long time. And so that's what we saw when market values would increase is there would be a bubble, it would burst, and then it would go back to normal. He wants to move and get into a cheaper life. I think that he wants to get back into the Vegas lifestyle. I think Flagstaff is too slow for him. I think that it's not exciting for him anymore. He can't do what he wants there. He's not going to find another wife there. They're not near their church there or their friends, and they're not really in a church anymore either way. But anyways, another thought I was having about this potential move is that right now all the property in Flagstaff is in both Kody and Robyn's names. And I wonder if part of the reasons that he might want to move is that things aren't going super well in the marriage. And so like to get rid of some of those joint held properties, to get rid of them so that like if there was a divorce, there would be less money to separate. I don't know if they have a prenuptial agreement. I don't know what their, agreements were for marriage in that respect, but they do have a lot of joint property, and Arizona is a joint ownership state. So everything that a spouse owns and that spouses own are community property. And so right now, if they got divorced, 50% would be split. If they moved, he could finagle things in a different way to potentially not have her on documents the way she is now. Robyn may be not wanting to leave because of that, but it seems like there's some financial motives here that aren't just about the cost of the house, about the price of living there. I'm sure it has to do with his lack of income now. There's some probably issues of what happens if we get divorced, how would this get split up, and his desire to dodge creditors or the land loans coming due. They're going to move soon, mark my words. But I don't know if Robyn's going to be there. And I think, will Robyn stay in Flagstaff? Will they get divorced over this? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.